All right, so let's talk about the event. At the event, I woke up at about 4:45, and we took the half-hour drive over. My father took me on over. The night before, I took my bike over, got it all set up, and realized that transitions were an extra 4 miles. No joke, like there's an extra 2.5 miles in there. So got everything racked and stuff, and then got everything prepared the night before. Went down, dropped off my bags, and then I guess I misunderstood special needs, misread something. So just remember, for the folks out there, special needs, whatever in there is discardable. So don't have anything of value. I left a new water bottle in there and another one, but then I had my wits enough around me to know, after I heard on the bike portion that that's what's going on, that I transferred some stuff quickly or kept it with me, whatever, so that I was able to drop it into not the morning bag, but the run bag. So got all that done, and then woke up the next morning. I guess I went to bed probably around 11 or so, tried to, and got enough sleep. Liz really tried to help, and Lucas did okay. And then I woke up at about 4:45. My dad and I went on over. I am doing a protein shake and a banana. I meant to do some eggs, but oh well. And en route, got that into me. I put my water bottles together. So what I did is I did nutrition. I did it differently this time. I did a full thing of my mixed drink on bike, and so that's the milk, and that's my protein. I believe it's Nutriva. I'll have to look at that. And did just the normal scoop, but I put more milk into it and took that. So it was soy in that, and that held okay, and that did well on the bike. But then I had my shaker cup for the morning. And then went over and got into the swim line, and that's where it got interesting. So, just a little bit before, to roll it back. So before I get to the swim portions, we were told during the briefing, which they did online. I watched the online one because I didn't have the time to get down to Centertown and go back and forth for a half hour. And I've got my family and kids, and did the expo, and always forget to bring a credit card to the expo. Just remember that. We got lots of cool clothes. Anyways, everybody's got memorabilia now, so that's cool. And well, in the morning, I coming across the desert, I popped 2 tires. They just got, I don't know what's going on. So when I went to go pump them up the night before or the day before, they had problems. So when I went to go rack my bike just before, found a bike shop, Mike's Bike Shop in Sacramento, over on I and somewhere. They were great. They were easy to work with. I even asked if they had the opportunity that they could put it together, but I think they misunderstood what they were a prominent bike for athletes there. Oh, well, hey, I think we can get it done by the evening. It's like, we're racking today, so that doesn't work. But anyways, lessons learned all around, right? They'll get more and more used to that if California holds on to this triathlon. In this Ironman event. That being said, the briefing said, hey, there's going to be plenty of pumps, etc. And after I came across, I had the problem with the tires, and then my replacement tires were problems. So I went out and got new inner tubes, got them all together, got my bike racked, kept the tires pumped really low. My father has an electronic pump that I couldn't get above 30 psi, not a problem. And then when I went over to go get them pumped, I was about 6 or 7 people deep. Plenty of pumps meant at Ironman California 2 pumps for a lot of people, at least at the station I was at. And they might have had 3 or 4 other stations. But, you know, when I got there, went over to go do it, and there was a pump that was broken. A lot of people weren't sure what was going on. One person went up and tried it, and of course it didn't work because, I mean, if a pump isn't working at an event where there's a ton of A-type personalities, there's a good chance that the reason why it's there is because it's failing. Now, it was interesting. Somebody went up and said, hey, after they tried it, she picked it up and put it over the fence and said, you know what, this is just one more stressor we don't need here. So kudos to that gal. I just kind of sat in my own space and just kind of worked through. Anyways, when I went to pump up my bike, I pumped up the front, no problem, but apparently I didn't do or pump to where I thought I did. I think I put at least in the front, I normally run at 98 psi, and I think I did right around 90 on the front on accident because I was having a hard time seeing the gauge and light and trying to hustle and get to the buses and other things. Well, lo and behold, whether it was I didn't put too much in or put too much in or didn't put the right amount wasn't in there. And anyways, more to come for that. So that's where we were. And then from there, got everything, got what I needed for my morning needs, and then hustled over in the line. And that's where it got interesting. Just kind of, got in the line, doing my thing, just kind of not listening. Somebody started talking a little bit, and I was talking to him. It ends up being this guy named Brian, who happens to be married to one of my faith-based leaders from where I grew up in Sacramento. And anyways, part of family, friends, etc. So it was nice to link into him for a quick moment. And then that's where it really got interesting, because we were sitting there waiting, and it was funny because Brian's going back and forth. Do I put on my suit? Do I not? A couple of people had them on. I'm just sitting there going, we're going to get on a bus. It's going to be hot. We're going into kind of a cold swim. I'm sure we got enough time. I was, just kind of like, a little bit different approach to it. And it was funny. He goes, I'm so grateful that you're around here because you're like this Zen dude. And I'm like, oh, all right, great. My tag is zentriathlete, by the way. So at least during that moment, all the things I try to be and talk about it culminates there. My wife will tell you that I'm less than perfect. I will tell you I'm less than perfect. My children will scream and yell at you how imperfect I am. But we all mean well, right? So a couple of folks, because they're letting spectators come, it was great. They had buses and they said, hey, spectators can come. They can come all day. It doesn't matter. We've got enough buses for you. Well, then the pinch of all the athletes coming at the same time. And so things were getting a little testy. And where I was at, they started splitting out. The spectators asked them to go off to the side. And then off to the right comes a group of what looks to be athletes. And there were a couple of folks, just, 5 or 6, 10 people in front of us that just got hot. Who the F do you think you are? What are you doing? Why do you think you're doing that? Go get in line. We're all in. And I'm like, who are you, dude? Like, this is not who we are. This is not why we Ironman. 2 wrongs doesn't make a right. And there's this other guy. And Brian's like, whoa, good for you. You said something. And I met this other guy named Chase. He kind of said something, and I was kind of talking to him. It ends up being, worked with a good friend of mine, a good colleague of mine, Aaron Anderson, who's with the Cicero Group, partner in that firm. And, we kind of worked together at Utah State together. And anyways, just kind of talking through things and his story and what was going on there, and the fact that, hey, I opened my mouth and was like, acting on verba here, actions, not words, that, this, no matter how stressed out we are, slow twitch, that kind of just in your face, I'm a triathlete, F you, I don't care, I'm going to get mine. The reason why we do these things, from Iron Kids to Iron Man events, etc., like, this hobby of triathlon has really helped shape a lot of things I've tried to become, and quite grateful for that. So let's stop this and do that here. But yeah, for the mind spacey headset, head spacey, getting ready for the swim, etc., there were a lot of nerves there. I wouldn't say that the coordination of the buses was a mishandle. There were a couple of buses apparently that got lost. There was plenty of time. The only problem was, of course, is that, you had a 2.4 mile swim, and a lot of people get in their mind, this is exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it this way, and they have this control vector of I want it to go exactly the way that I want it to go to, and well, when it doesn't go that way, well, people become unrailed, disheveled, disrupted, and I guess that's where the difference between the things I feel that I have learned and perhaps others are still in the journey or just in a different vector of life or don't care. That's, I guess, a distinguishing value add for me that I've gotten from triathlon. It's helped me understand better through multiple vectors of life: work, being a father, being just a decent human, all those things. So, but yeah, and then got on the bus, and I'll take this up to where I get there, and then ended up sitting next to a Canadian athlete and talking to her, and just getting excited about things and listening to her story. That's another thing, like the stories that we have to tell are also unique but also similar, and it's just inspiring that 2,600 crazy weirdos decided to jump in the American River, swim into the Sacramento River, and then go spend one hell of a day together, and all to be able to get to the line where Mike Riley says, "Hey, insert your name, you are an Ironman." So yeah, so I'll pick the next section up after this.